Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. We have two very interesting news to render. One has to do with a senior advocate who is telling Nigerians or telling the ruling party and politicians that there is a cage that has been unleashed, that was all along has been in prison, but now is fully aware of his strength, and they need to be very careful. And it didn't stop. They took time and explained a lot of things that may not be clear to the common man, except a legal luminary like him would take time to explain that. And of course, in another news, C&S Supreme Leader had come out again to warn the political actors, political gladiators of what is going on, and also warn Obiedients on what is about to take place. And is already pleaded that this must be done now, so that does not escalate beyond reasonable doubt. But before we go into the newspaper quickly, let's kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Let's start with what C&S Supreme Head told Nigerians. He said, well, the Supreme Head of the Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Nigeria, His Most Eminence, Prophet Solomon Adegboyega Aliu, has urged the federal government to be more circumspect in dealing with the opposition parties and their presidential candidates. He specifically warned against the arrest of the Labour Party presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi and his vice Datti Baba Ahmed. The leader of C&S worldwide, in his Easter message on Sunday, advised the government to rather appease those who lost the elections and assured them that they will get justice at the court instead of threatening to arrest and charge them for treason. He said, and I quote him, "The federal government must tread softly in dealing with Obi and Datti and stop the threat of arresting and prosecuting them for treason. If they do that, I can see the scenario of 1964 playing out again, and that will be very devastating for the country. We have not seen enough of persuasion and conviction from the government and the ruling party to convince the opposition parties and their candidates that they will not interfere in the judiciary process and that this is the time to do that." The clergyman also advised the president-elect Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu to be magnanimous in victory and warned his spokesperson to stop overheating the polity. He said, and I quote him again, "They should realize that the campaign is over and start handling reactions as people who are ready to govern all Nigerians irrespective of their sentiment." Prophet Aliu, who noted that the country has never been polarized like this, also admonished Obi to warn his supporters to watch their utterances and what they post on social media and stop creating enemies for him. The clergyman noted that no matter the level of provocation, Labour Party supporters should know that there is a limit to political agitation in a democratic setting, and they should know that the struggle is not against a military government but a constitutionally recognized government. He said, and I quote him again, "No Nigerians should advocate for a return of military government or interim government which has been declared illegal by the court. But the judiciary has a role to play in stabilizing the country by being impartial in adjudicating over political cases before them." He noted that the essence of Easter was to show love and sacrifice, which was practically displayed by Jesus Christ, who died on the cross to redeem mankind from eternal condemnation. He said if Jesus Christ could do that, there is no sacrifice that is too much from anybody to save the country from sliding into precipice, and urged religious leaders to continue to pray for the peace and stability of Nigeria. This is coming from the Cherubim and Seraphim Supreme Head. But let's find a legal luminary has got to say. It's also his son. Well, according to the news, son Olisa Agbakoba has claimed that oppressive forces had made it difficult for Nigerians to free themselves. He compared Nigerians to be trapped inside of a cage and powerless to escape. In an exclusive interview, he compared the state of Nigeria to that of a lion clutching its prey. He said, "You're unlikely to move if a lion is holding you down. So the issue is that we are being held down by a weight that we are unable to shed." He asserted that there are those who have taken control of the state, they are reaping the benefits and don't care what the people go through. Therefore, we are unable to fix it. It appears to be a state capture. He said that politicians politicians' selfishness was to blame for Nigerians' problems, stating they prefer system failure because it benefits them, and when they benefit from the system, they don't care how it damages the economy. First, despite what Mahmood Yakubu, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, had told Nigerians, the polls were not as meticulously organized as we had hoped. Even INEC has admitted that the polls fell short of the expectations of properly organized elections. According to all the main local and international observers, it was incredibly ill-planned. One issue was with logistics, which included a late start, biometric failure, and violence. We all believe that the biometric would provide 100% guarantee of the accuracy of candidates' score, but it turned out that all INEC chairman says is that the biometric is just an accreditation procedure, and that we are all still using the antiquated manual approach. This makes me wonder. In light of this, several people have suggested delaying the inauguration. There's a lot of misunderstanding out there, which has ruined the mood. Issues like the interim government, which I reject because it violates the constitution, Lai Mohammed's remarks, Obi's answer, and everything related to treason. However, I have a straightforward response, which is to ask why none of the petitioners' legal teams are working. The tribunal's lack of activity baffles me. Why is it so? Given that the elections were held about 2 months ago, I don't comprehend it. No, how can Buhari be the hero of election? Peter Obi is the hero of the election. I don't personally see it. The election had organized, the elections had organization issues and were botched. In fairness to him, I can only say that he has kept a measured distance. At least that's how I perceive it. Although he undoubtedly supports his own party and is not an APC member, I won't describe him as a hero. I also don't comprehend it. Really, I have no idea. Peter Obi is only number 3. Thus, it amazes me that the man who should be in the image is actually number 2. That demonstrates that the fact that there were a lot of unsaid problems at play that we are not aware of. Peter Obi's heroic performance is a threat that this man is a guy to watch, because if he has done this, even if he loses the petition, there is a force. He has opened that cage, and that has been locked for a long time. Clearly, the bad forces, as I refer to them, would want to use every possible opportunity to keep that system in check. There are many Nigerians being kept down in that cage, and the soldiers are now admonishing them to close it. And inside that cage are angry Nigerians, #EndSARS protesters, and unemployed youth. These individuals don't give a damn about their tribe, their region, their religion, or sentiment. They just know that they are Nigerians and they are not subject to their archaic emotions. And these are the groups Peter Obi represent. Therefore, it's crucial to keep them confined. Wow, it's crucial to keep him confined. Now you now see where a legal luminary is coming from, saying, look, this is beyond just Peter Obi. More Nigerians are involved and they're actually projecting Peter Obi. So it's not going to be as easy as we think. With all the warnings also coming from C&S, it now shows that there's more in this game than meets the eye. This may not be the regular elections that we are used to. More Nigerians are involved. That's what we'll wrap it up. What's your take? Let's put it in the comment section. Have a nice time.